We move on now to our second major leading story. In the Republic of Congo, two imprisoned relatives of opposition rebel leader Pastor Ntumi were released in Brazzaville earlier this week. The gesture of the Congolese government has now been interpreted in various ways by political analysts, with many seeing it as the beginning to the end of the socio-political crisis in the Pool region of the Congo. The Pool region area is a stronghold of Frederick Binsamu, better known as Pastor Ntumi, who led a militia that fought President Sassou Nguesso during and after the 1997 civil war. The government blames him for deadly raids in the capital Brazzaville last April.
There has been sporadic fighting raging in the Pool area in the southern part of the country. The United Nations believe that the conflict has already displaced 138,000. At the beginning of the week, the European Union, France, Italy and the World Food Programme announced the release of more than €1 million to help them. With us online this morning to take a look at these recent developments is Alphonse Ndongo, a political analyst based in Brazzaville. Hello, Ndongo. Thank you for being with us live from Brazzaville. Two pastors of Pastor Ntumi, who had been held in the Congolese capital since last year, were released by the government. Can this move be the Congolese authorities to ease the socio-political atmosphere in the Pool and also allow negotiations with Pastor Ntumi? The release of Gustave Tondo and his sidekick Roque will certainly contribute to the easing of the political situation prevailing in the Pool, to the extent that one already remembers a week ago, the Chief of Staff, General Okoye, had requested that the barriers, which obviously did not allow better circulation in the Pool department, be removed. So it is hoped that the release of the two, Dominique or Pastor Ntumi, who are already known here in Brazzaville as part of the negotiations that Ntumi required from the government. It is hoped that therefore certainly in the ninja environment and certainly why not at the higher summit, that is that the Pastor Ntumi himself will contribute more to the easing, including the demobilization of some ninjas. Now, there are some question marks left. Did the fact that they were released as they were and that they were immediately sent on a mission in the Pool, will it create a climate of mistrust between them and other ninjas who are staying in the forest with Pastor Ntumi? That's the question. During a meeting in Brazzaville with the wise and notable members of the Pool, President Sassou Nguesso had demanded to go and tell the ninjas to come out of the forest and drop off the weapons in Brazzaville. The most skeptical had claimed that in remembrance of the so-called beach, the ninjas will not give a favorable response to this request. Will you consider releasing these two lieutenants from Ntumi as a first pledge of sincerity on the part of the government? Yes and no. Yes, because even the government has thrown away the weight by obviously releasing people who are recognized very close to Pastor Ntumi, and he also sent to Brazzaville, not because we also know that there is a sword of Damocles of justice, which remains in particular the famous mandate of bringing that remains suspended on the head of Pastor Ntumi, Pastor Elijah and Doc Kozadio, who are thus almost the two acolytes of Pastor Ntumi. It is at this level that one does not feel on the part of the government they will be able to loosen the judicial vice that remains suspended above the head of these three people. There is no reason to think that the power perhaps want much more to negotiate with the followers of the Pastor Ntumi, in particular the ninjas who are around him, and of course the three persons mentioned are the subjects of legal proceedings. And at this moment, we may ask ourselves, is it possible to dissociate the elements of Pastor Ntumi from Ntumi himself? These are people who are totally at the mercy of Pastor Ntumi, who are in the messianism known in this area of the pole, so they will not certainly accept to go out if they do not have the anointing of Pastor Ntumi, that they sometimes qualify as half God. You mentioned the lifting of barriers on the roads of the pole now too close to Ntumi are liberated. Does the multiplication of good intentions of power towards Ntumi have links with the negotiations that Congo have with the IMF? It goes without saying that the ongoing negotiations between the Congolese authorities and the International Monetary Fund are also an element to be put to the active climate of political detention that has been, as we know, as the Congolese authorities, by this institution of Bretton Woods. Because it is not possible to revive the economical machine when there are noises of boats or when there are gunfire in the vicinity of Brazzaville. It is already known that people in Congo are suffering, especially from the capital city, suffering the backlash of the pool situation, because often one is in goal, two difficulties, the price of fuel or even the lack of petroleum products to Brazzaville, because the situation of the pool is interfering. So, we have to hope on the side of the rulers that above all, it is not the eye powder that is frankly a possibility for the Congolese authorities to contribute to appeasement, because without peace, there is no economic development. That is why we are following closely the steps taken by the authorities to try to relax the political situation in the pool.
Les mesures que viennent de prendre les autorités pour essayer, n'est-ce pas, de décrypter la situation politique dans le pool.
Last question, Alphonse Ndongo. Do you think the question of political prisoners may be a point that Ntumi will put forward for any dialogue with Brazzaville? Ntumi, when followed, always said he was a little bit in tune with those who are in the political claims, those who are therefore in prison. One can therefore imagine, even if possibly on the Brazzaville side, it is estimated that Ntumi is simply an armed bandit. See, even a rebel. But we have to say that Ntumi himself has always given the impression that he was in some way the arm of those who are in prison in Brazzaville.
Même si c'est encore à l'étape tout à fait léger avec le pasteur Ntumi ou avec ses partisans.
So, if the government manages to engage even talks, even if it's still a very light step with Ntumi or with his supporters, especially those who have come out of prison, one can also imagine that maybe I have a hand outstretched, why not in the direction of those who are still in the prisons of Brazzaville, but the power simply presents an ordinary prisons of law, while the entourage even insane to say that they are political prisoners. So, all this goes in my humble opinion. Certainly, we will see in the days and months to come what power certainly reserved to those who are in prison, especially as the next mission of the IMF is announced to be in February 2018.